Hey everyone, so this is my review of Magnum P.I. Season 1, Episode 10, called Bad Day to Be a Hero. And essentially what this episode is about is that Magnum must help Rick's crush after an illegal poker game sort of goes awry, and now she is sort of forced under this debt of this really massive mob boss. And this was just a really, really interesting episode that was a little confusing to follow in its whole storyline, and it just felt like they sort of threw in a bad guy at the end, and that was just really kind of confusing. But it was just interesting to sort of see sort of how everything played out to get to that point, where everything with this illegal poker game and stuff was interesting, with Rick trying to do all this different stuff to impress this girl that he really likes and sort of help her out and stuff. But then the poker game gets robbed and things go wrong and stuff. Just how he explained and sort of played out like who all the different participants and stuff were and stuff was interesting to see. And then what they did with like who the robbers were and stuff was interesting, but that's where it sort of started to get into this line of very confusingness and stuff, where these robbers were actually really good and nice guys and chose to do this robbery and stuff for good intentions. And them actually like being a target of just this one item but then choosing to steal all this other stuff to sort of cover it up was interesting and a really good sort of storyline part to it. But then like the fact that they were good guys and the reason behind what they were doing and stuff was confusing. And then just, like I said, who the actual, like, main bad guy was just really weird and confusing, where it was, like, the least suspectable person out there ended up being, like, the worst of the worst person ever, where he was actually, instead of just being, like, this really higher up businessman and stuff, no, he was a slave trader. And just, like, how that was thrown in there and stuff was just really confusing and felt like they mashed, like, two completely different episodes together just randomly at the end, and it just really kind of bugged me because of that. And like, why did they have to have like this sort of major like heroic part to end it, where it was like Magnum not just helping out his friend and saving her from a massive amount of debt and stuff, but no, he had to be a hero and save like a bunch of people that were sold into slavery, and just like, why did that have to happen? I don't know. And that really kind of bugged and confused me, but still, just the whole sort of storyline getting up there was really good in my opinion. And then everything with how the whole sort of relationship ended up for Rick and this girl that he really liked was interesting, where they were just sort of starting to like admit their feelings and stuff for each other, but then her choosing to sort of step away and go and live her life somewhere else instead was an interesting sort of approach, and I'm very curious to see sort of if they're ever going to give somewhat of a love interest to Rick or TC or anything like that. And then just overall, this was a really entertaining and a fun episode that definitely had a lot of good moments to it, besides just the confusing bits and pieces in there. But just, yeah. So that's my review of Magnum P.I. Season 1, Episode 10, called Bad Day to Be a Hero. So